On a cold and wet morning at Darling Street Park, where the conditions tested every player, Castle Hill faced off against ball beaters in a battle of defenses. Despite AJ's spirited 49 and Jake's determined 26 not out, Castle Hill's chase fell short. Ball beaters held their nerve, winning by 22 runs amid tricky bowling hurdles, asserting their dominance in the Western Sydney Winter LMS showdown.
You see, this is the problem when I'm listening to music while I'm setting this whole thing up. Because I just about start these things, singing songs to you guys as we start, because I just hit pause and then get into it. So you've all just dodged a bullet, because I could have been singing a song. Okay, welcome. As you can tell by the curtained backdrop and the Boston Celtics hoodie, it's a cool evening in Sydney town, or Sydney region town. Today, played LMS Sydney Western Sydney Winter LMS comp. Winter says it all. We've been pretty good, blessed with weather. Most of this season so far, it's just starting to cool down and get a little wetter. So, played a 9:20 game out at Greystanes at, I can't remember the name of the field. Let's find out what it says here. Please wait. Loading. Said wait. Right. Okay, done. It doesn't tell me where the game's at. Oh, match info. Wrong one. Oh, it's my fault. Here I was getting cross at it, and it was all my fault. Darling Street Park at Greystanes. Yes. So I had to go from my house at Ettalong to drop one of the children off at Glenhaven to then be at Darling Street Park for a 9:20 start. So I was up at 5:30 praying for rain. We didn't get any. Rained yesterday, so the ground was wet. And 6:30 we left. Drove down there, got to the game, plenty of time to spare. But we went out to play, and it was hard taking the jumper off today and going out and bowled first. Played against ball beaters, not ball breakers, who I feel maybe another team or something else entirely. I think Carl was reading at one point we were ninth on the table and they were 10th. So both of us clearly set in Div 2 when the comp splits. Not sure when it splits. It can't be too far away. We have 12 teams and they split it from Div 1 and Div 2 combined to a Div 1 top 6 and a Div 2 top 6, or 6 only at some point. So we would have been sitting in third. Unfortunately, we didn't get up, so we've probably dropped behind them now. But yeah, tough day. The ground was wet. I mean, the field itself wasn't too bad. It held up pretty well. We've played on worse, but it's hard to turn around in rubbers on these soggy grounds. I couldn't throw the ball. I had a bad day in the field, and it was just because the ball was so wet. I tried to throw one in overhand and threw straight up in the air. And I tried to throw underarms and couldn't get it to go more than 5 feet in front of me. So yeah, I gave away a few runs in the field, but happens. I'm old and not perfect. I do my best. Anyway, look, it was a close game. They won by 22. We brought up 22 runs in the run chase, short in the end, which is probably a fair reflection, I think. I don't think we bowled badly, but they had one guy got in the bank 50 off 42, another guy got 46 off 27, another guy got 26 off 18. The rest of the side didn't get past 5. So I don't think we did too badly to restrict. 137 certainly chaseable. Having said that, it's a wet ground, a wet ball. Ball skidding on. It was a bloody horrible wicket, let's be fair. There was duck poo on it. I'm trying to run in and I'm worried about slipping and slide and doing my best. I mean, I'm not sure how sort of the likes of guys that come in on quicker, a longer run up, AJ and Kian, you guys seem to fare okay, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't bowl badly. No one bowled badly. Jake had one over towards the end, and sometimes that happens. But other than that, everybody sort of bowled well. Yeah, looking at it, sort of, I mean, Jake went for 11 and a half and over, but that's because he had one bad over, which can happen to all of us. So number 23 from 2. Both myself and AJ 1 for 18 from 2, me none for 18 from 2, so 9 and over. I didn't go for any boundaries, but I did have a couple of wides and a no ball. Oddly enough, normally if it's swinging seam up, I'll go cross seam if I can't control the swing. Today, it was seam up, it was not swinging at all. The minute I went cross seam, it was swinging and kicking. Both leg side wides were slower balls, which hit and then kicked, sort of swung down and kicked away. And the other wide was an offside wide, which was, I reckon, was perfectly fine, pitched on off stump, and then just kicked away the opposite direction. So I don't think any of those balls were all that bad. I feel like, given the conditions, I'm actually feeling comfortable with my bowling at the moment. The no ball was the very last ball of my 2 overs, and just tried to throw in a quicker one, and just lost control of it and threw it off the wicket altogether. So, but I ain't no professional. Sometimes these things happen. Kian bowled fantastically. I've played, I think, only the second game I played with Kian. I played with Kian in his first game out at St Mary's. I know he played again and had some good figures. The first game at St Mary's was finding his first a little short, but today he got brilliantly, none for 7 from 2 overs opening the bowling. Really good to watch Kian. One of those days where he could have come back at the end, and normally he would, but we already had sort of Mordo bowling, and Lance was bowling well, so it's a case of, do you want to have Mordo and another quick bowling, or do you want to take that pace off? I know Mordo will go, I'm not quick, and you're probably right, but you're in the opening bowling and bowling at the death slot. So we had Stan and Lance, who both bowled really, really well today, so they kind of wrapped up those last odd few overs. Not the last over, obviously 20. That's what Mordo had, but the sort of the 16 and 18s, I think. Anyway, as I said, myself and AJ, 18 runs. Kian 7. Mordo 2 for 27, bowling 2 at the front, 2 at the back, so 6.75 and over and 2 wickets. Don't get much better than that. Stan 1 for 22, 5.5 and over from 4, and Lance 1 for 19, 4.75 and over. So again, out of our 7 bowlers, 6 of us were under 10s. So 137 was certainly a chaseable score. And I think just a little bit of the variability, variableness. The wicket did some stuff, apparently. I don't know. Batsmen tell me how to go. Some days say low, and this one kicked. I just go to bat and they hit it or I don't. I don't know. It's usually what happens. AJ continued his run of form, got to 49 off 40 balls. Fours, unfortunately, disappointing for AJ. We talked about this today. Disappointing for AJ, or as we now call him, Little Singlet. Got bowled. Reckons one stayed down. I don't know. I feel like it's just a batsman. You just try to hit it and you missed it. But our opening stand between AJ and Stan, AJ 49 40, Stan 23 of 21. Mordo came out, got caught, was kind of a victim of the extra bounce, maybe Mordo, like it popped up high. I thought it was going to take the clouds out. The guy had no right of catching it, to be honest. 4 from 6. Kian 9 from 17, a victim of trying to move the run rate along again. Jake came in 26 off 18, not out, 3 good fours and a 6. Was batting well, just ran out of time. Lance unfortunately got a cracking great ball first ball. Just clean bowled him. It's one of those ones that I normally get, so I was really glad he got out of his system. So I got 2 not out from 3. Obviously not setting the world on fire, but 3 balls of mine. I think we needed 30 something when I came and joined Jake. And Jake's hit a couple of 4s. I think the 6 was before I got out there, but couldn't replicate what we did a few weeks ago when we managed to salvage the draw. Tie. But we did all right. I felt okay being able to get forward and turn it over. I think as I said, 2 off 3. First ball I missed altogether because you got no footwork. Next 2 balls I was maybe to just punch them forward for singles. So kept getting Jake back on strike. But they bowled well at the death. So he pulled up, and Carl, who was the keeper today, so you didn't hear from him in the bowling, and was batting at 8, but kept very well, actually. Stopped a lot of buys. Kept very well stopping them down leg side. No opportunities for sort of stumpings and many catch. I think Carl did take a catch. Just kind of not a huge amount of an appeal. Take appealed from out thingy. I didn't appeal, I went to, but no one else did. So we thought no one hit it, but it was just apparently it was kind of obvious. So there was just they just turned and said, "Yeah, that out." It was very understated as it was before. So yeah, again we pulled up. So some three good innings there for AJ, Stan, and Jake. So certainly not being outclassed. I mean, you have a day where Mordo goes off, Kian and Lance can bat, so could have got some runs. Could have gone either way. It's just, but it was cold and wet, and getting up at 5:30 fucking sucked this morning. I hated it. But once you get out to play, that's good. Struggled a little bit trying to chase balls and turn today in the wet. It didn't really affect my bowling too much. The run ups sort of in the duck shit there was slipping on affected that more than anything else. But still feel like I had okay control. That's it. That's it. Short, sweet. Had to be said. Might as well have bloody rained. It was that wet. I don't think anything's dried up from a couple of days ago. So, but I'd rather get on than not get on. So, see how we go tomorrow. If I get the part here on Central Coast. We're supposed to play at 2. I'm not sure what the rain's going to do. So it is what it is. This marks 3 weeks, I think, until we go away to the UK. Up until this afternoon when Sarah corrected me, I was going to the airport on Friday the 17th. Apparently we're flying out on Thursday the 16th. So it's a good thing I have a wife to tell me when I'm supposed to be where. Good news is I booked the airport parking and the travel insurance, everything on the correct date. I was just in my head I was going to turn up at the wrong time. I think it's because I've been doing itineraries for the week and they start on the Friday when we land. So I feel like that might have been why I was a bit out of sync. I feel like I want to chat some more. I don't think anyone wants to listen to much more. There's not much else I can say other than it was a wet day, cold. We played, did our best, didn't do badly. As always, got some more skills practice in the winter, which is what LMS is for. And that's about it. I will say goodbye or I will keep talking. Bye. So there you go. That's how